The Minister of Higher Education, Buti Manamela, is in a lot of trouble, to a point that high chances he might be going to prison. On the other hand, President Ramaphosa has said that they are not going to be lobbying any other countries to be on their side after the United States of America decided to exclude them from the G20 that is going to happen. The last thing that I want to talk about was Floyd Shivambu and the collapse that is happening in MAYIBUYE, Africa, the leadership crisis that they are currently faced with. So Buti Manamela has been really criticized by the economic freedom fighters and the Democratic Alliance with regards to the appointments that he has made with the SETA administrators. And it was found that these SETA administrators are actually ANC cadres. And the decision for these SETA administrators to be appointed is because of some problems that were faced by the three different SETAs. And namely, it's the services SETA, the local government SETA, and construction SETA, which were near collapse. There's been a lot of issues such as serious entrenchment problems, after there's raised concern, after some audits that were made, lapses in oversight, irregularities, and unstable, non-functioning boards. So they decided that they're just going to dismantle that, or they're going to appoint the administrators that are going to help revive these different SETAs. So these administrators are questionable because they are ANC cadres, but Buti Manamela came with a good excuse as to why he had to appoint these people, stating that they have the prerequisite qualification for them to hold these positions of being administrators. However, in order for him to do this, he needs to consult with the National Skills Authority. And the National Skills Authority needs to give consent for him to appoint these administrators that are going to revive these SETAs that are at the brink of collapse or who already, have collapsed. And then these people were called, and the minister was called first to answer whether he did consult the NSA. And he said that, it was not really a formal consultation, but I did, in a way, consult with them. This is what happened in the first meeting.
Your answering affidavit to the local government SETA, to the court, says, on the 7th of August, 2025, I consulted with the National Skills Authority in terms of the provision of Section 15.1 of the SDA as amended, which clearly states, I won't read what it states, we all know what it states. Paragraph 89 then reads, during the consultation with the NSA on the 7th of August, the business of the day, and I repeat, the business of the day was the discussion of the investigation that was initiated by the National Treasury following the allegations from an anonymous whistleblower consistent with the principles of accountability and ethical governance in the public sector.
Yes. What's the point, Honorable Member?
You say you never had a meeting with these people of consultation.
Yes, I've never had a physical meeting with the National Skills Authority.
You had a meeting virtually?
Honorable Member, I've never had a physical or virtual meeting with the National Skills Authority. So
what is your understanding of a business of the day?
I consulted with the National Skills Authority as it relates to the said SETA in the manner in which I consulted. And I think if there's any other thing that the Honorable Member wants to take up, I think we
Minister, what is your...
Obviously, Setlolonzi, as you guys have heard, probed and was not happy about the response of the minister.
But in your court papers, you say, during the consultation with the NSA, so it's something that is happening during the business of the day was the discussion of the investigation that was initiated by the National Treasury.
What is the Honorable Member trying to suggest?
It means these versions can't both be true at the same time. They are mutually exclusive, Minister. It's either you're lying to Parliament or you're lying to the courts of South Africa.
Well, the facts of the matter is, as I've mentioned, I have never had a physical or virtual meeting with the National Skills Authority. I'm required to consult with the National Skills Authority. There is no description as to the form of that consultation. And as far as I'm concerned, the affidavit I've deposed before the court was consistent with my recollection of those
No,
facts.
thank you, Chair.
And I think that's
Thanks, Chair.
He then took it upon himself to ask the NSA if whether these consultation processes were held. And these ones said no.
I'll interject again, Chair.
The
I'm not asking if you had a meeting. I'm asking you, on the 7th of August 2025, and I repeat, did you, the National Skills Authority, have a consultation meeting with the minister?
Ungangxolisi kalo.
Engathi awundiva.
But Mswesho, please answer the
It's a
question.
very simple question.
It's okay. It's okay. Please answer the question.
Yeah, no, it's good. Chair, we didn't have a meeting with the minister on that day. However, we were supposed.
Thank you, Chair. That's my only question.
So which means the minister lied in parliament, and not just in parliament, he also lied in his court papers. Because in his court papers, to justify the reason why these administrators are supposed to be appointed, because there was one of the SETAs who have went to court and have said that this process of administrators being appointed is not really necessary, meaning Buti uya papa. He was not supposed to do that, allegedly. And then what happened is that Mugai responded, and in his court papers said that on the 7th of August had a meeting with the NSA, and the NSA approved that they take these steps, only to find out that ubaba bekaqamba mang. We have a serious crisis in South Africa of our leaders lying. And this thing has become such a norm that people are lying in parliament and it's normal. And these parties go open cases, but that's the thing. What happens of those cases? How many of these people who have actually committed this perjury are currently in jail or have been fined or anything of that kind? Brown Mokgotsi lied, Cedric Nkabinde lied, Buti Manamela lied, even the former Minister Nkabane also lied. What has happened of these cases? Because we hear people are being reported. Good, yes, Amandla. But that's the thing. What happens after? I think that is where my concern is. What do you guys think about the minister? Do you think that high chances something's going to be done, or it's just going to fall off like other cases and nothing is going to be done? But I trust the EFF when it comes to following up and asking questions. They've done a good job with Pala Pala. They've even been taking it to the streets. I'm hoping that they will follow up in this matter, especially Sitlelons, because Sitlelons is here in the minister's neck. And I'm hoping that it's going to put the necessary pressure to put the minister into account. High chances there's no crisis in the SETAs. Uba Afoje just wanted his NC cadres to be administrators and take charge of these SETAs. Moving right along to the President Ramaphosa. So President Ramaphosa has actually said that the South African government is not going to do anything trying to convince other countries to be on their side, especially after they've been excluded by Donald Trump to attend the G20 next year.
Will you be mobilizing any countries to boycott the G20 in Miami?
No, we don't need to mobilize anyone. We're not wired that way as South Africa. Every country must take its own decisions, and we are who we are, and we don't really peddle our role in any shape or form. People or countries respect us for what we are, and they applauded our role in the G20 for the manner in which we ran and managed the G20. So as South Africa, we leave every country to make up its own mind with regard to all.
I don't want to lie. I like to a certain degree the maturity of cupcakes, but at the same time, I have a concern with regards to that stance and whether it's going to actually be upheld. But at the same time, will they actually get the support? Who will support an African country? People always think that African countries, we are just developing countries, would be on their side. And yeah, already no one is supporting South Africa. There's no African country that is actually supporting South Africa and actually calling out the bullying from Donald Trump. So high chances, even if we do whatever, no one might really support us in that way, because we heard that United States is this powerhouse. Nothing can happen with the United States. We all need to bow down to the God who is the United States of America. I don't know what you guys think. Let me hear your thoughts. Otherwise, let us move to the last one, which is Floyd Shivambu. So Floyd Shivambu, as you guys have heard, if you have not heard, there's 2 deputy presidents of the MAYIBUYE Africa that have resigned. And Ubafo, it seems like, He's really changing the tables to say that these people left because they were incompetent. They didn't have the prerequisite, qualification and experience to be in these positions, and they were very much ineffective. On the other hand, Nolu Babalo is not backing down. She's fighting Floyd with everything she has. She's literally saying that, you know what, Floyd, I created this organization. Everything was proper. Everything was nice until we became a dictator. You are not going to tell us what to do. You see this MAYIBUYE drama, I think it's going to mess up their campaign come 2026. I just can't wait to see how that is going to go about and how that is going to unfold. Nonetheless, let me hear your thoughts, what you guys think about the politics of South Africa, what is going on. I will see you guys on my next upload. Bye.